And the champion is still in the race to retain his crown.
And Duff delivers.
Oh yeah, well done from Barstow. Put it on ice. Serve it all. The champagne finish from Chris Quanto.
Well, that is a wonderful checker from Adam Lipscombe.
Good evening, welcome along to the MODUS Super Series, and what an intriguing night we have here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Devon Peterson makes his long-awaited debut in this competition, and we are going to see two former weekly winners in Chaz Barstow and Chris Quanto throw their first darts here this week. Watching every dart this week is Mason the Ace, Chris Mason, and he joins me here now. Such an intriguing night, and there is such intrigue, isn't there, over the debut for Devon Peterson here.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where his game is. He's been playing on the Challenge Tour, but that's very much a different scenario to what he faces here this week, playing round-robin darts effectively. He's going to get multiple games, 8 in total over the next couple of days. And yeah, I think it'll do him good. It'll let us know where his game is, but more importantly, he'll have a real in-depth look at his own game, and he'll have time to work things out. It may not happen over the next couple of days, but I certainly think going forward it'd be a massive help to him.
Well, we are midway through the week's worth of action. Let's round up then everything we have seen by having a look at the tournament bracket. We saw the defending champion Scott Taylor make his way through Group A on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday respectively. Group C is what we saw this afternoon. Joe Croft leading the way with Jimi Hendrix on 8 points. But tonight it is all about Group B. Let's talk about the two players first that came from Group A, Adam Lipscombe and Neil Duff, because both of them really did shine, didn't they?
Yeah, in the end for Neil Duff, but Adam Lipscombe was very, very good. In fact, statistically, up until this session this evening, he's been the best player here this week in terms of numbers. Whatever metric we look at, he tops the table. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can continue that on. Now, as to be said, this is a much higher quality group than Group A, so it's going to be a little tougher for him, but he'll be taking a lot of confidence. And we know Neil Duff, he slowly but surely played himself into form excuse me, in Group A, and I expect him to come out firing over the next 2 nights.
There's been a lot of talk, hasn't there, about Chaz Barstow getting back to his best. We saw him win a week in the last series, and he's getting to the type of form that saw him get to World Championships not too long ago. Yeah,
we're hearing whispers that he's going very well locally at the moment and playing some good stuff. He's a real quick thrower. He's easy on the eye to watch, and when he's on, he's a handful for anybody. But he hasn't been that good here for the last couple of times. He's tried to get through to a finals night. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes tonight. But as far as the whispers, he's playing very well at the moment, and he's going to have to as well. Let's have it right.
And the bookies have backed him as well. He is the favourite to go on and win the group. He's 13-8 on. Neil Duff 7-4. Now, when we were here on Monday morning, we spoke about Chris Quanto and how he could be somebody that the bookmakers may get burnt by if he plays these bets. And we were looking at his numbers, weren't we, for the last 12 months in preparation to tonight. It stacks up against the rest of the field.
Yeah, certainly. He's right up there in terms of numbers. Has form for winning here before. He understands the format. He understands the intricacies of what it takes now to win a week. And we were looking at value for, I mean, Scott Taylor was no real value to win the week or win Group A. But in terms of value for winning the week, we thought Chris Quanto would have a big shout.
Devon Peterson, the outsider to win the group. Is that because of the form that we've seen recently in Challenge Tours?
Yeah, mid-70s. That's not going to cut it here, especially this evening. But we know a couple of weeks, you know, here and there, and a bit more practice and a bit of confidence. If he gets off to a winning start, he could recapture some form. That's how quick this sport can turn around. We've seen it here before many times. We've seen it here over the passage of a week. So I wouldn't quite write him off. But I think for Devon, and knowing Devon as I do, he'll use this very much as an exercise to take a real good look at his game. He'll be able to go back and look at the footage, of course. So this is going to be great for him.
And it'll be interesting to see how he gets on, because he's going to be in action in our first game when he takes on Neil Duff, who's looking for a hat-trick of wins here, is Neil. He won his week last time out. He won the double trouble week, and he's now looking to return to Champions Week. So a tough first assignment for Devon Peterson. He's very much looking forward to the experience. I don't know whether he was looking so much to talking to me earlier on this evening, but he did exactly that.
Devon, welcome along to the MODUS Super Series. How much are you looking forward to the challenge?
It's great to be obviously part of the MODUS Super Series. I mean, I've seen it, watch Simon Adams play on it, perform well on it, comeback losses. You've seen players like Lou Littler play on here. So yeah, I think it's definitely something in the right direction. It's a bit more live golf-esque at the minute, and yeah, it's an amazing opportunity, and I'm really glad to be here.
Is it nice to embrace a new challenge?
It always is, because it just showcases your strength and your bounce back and whether you want it. Me coming down from Bradford, it was a 5-hour drive, so I really need to kind of make my stamp, because the 5 hours that I'm going to drive back home is probably going to be the worst or the best 5 hours that I could have ever had. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, you got some great talent: Neil Duff, Chaz Barstow, Adam, as well as Chris Quanto. So you look at all of those players; those are not mugs. So you're going to have to be on your game and take your opportunities.
After losing your tour card last year, is this a nice way to hit the refresh button?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've said that before. Challenge Tour is fantastic. It's really a challenge because you play 2 tournaments in a day. But it also gives you an opportunity to work on your game. MODUS Series making it possible for players to still keep fresh, keep sharp, and in front of the cameras, which is something that you don't really experience when you're off the tour. And it's fantastic to have MODUS Series obviously put on something like this. But it's not even haphazardly. It's well thought out and really a professional setup. So yeah, it's the sexiest thing other than sliced bread.
Talking about your game, where do you say it's at this present moment in time?
I feel as though I've got a lot more recovery to do. I think that just finding that rhythm, the consistent rhythm, because it comes in spurts, and then you get excited and you go, oh, it's back, and then yeah, you throw 26 or 45 after that. But yeah, I feel as though I'm probably 75% close to where I need to be. 75% is a good rate for where I'm at now. The goal is to be close to 100 by the end of the year, and if I'm playing in the World Championships, that's great. If I'm going to Q School, that's even better. So yeah, I think slowly catch the monkey, I think.
Well, we look forward to see your darts as sexy as sliced bread. Devon, all the very best.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's definitely a new one on me. As sexy as sliced bread. Well, you know, I suppose everyone's got to have a catchphrase, haven't they? Devon Peterson in action up against Neil Duff in our first game. And it was interesting to hear from Devon. He's very philosophical about the way this year is going to go. He knows that it's going to be a long road back to where he wants to be, and that's the PDC Tour. And not just on the PDC Tour, but he wants to be amongst the top players on that PDC Tour as well.
Yeah, it's very much a rebuilding process. The problem he had, while he continued to retain a card and be active, you don't really have enough time to. Well, it's a high-risk strategy to try and work things out on the fly whilst you're playing in tournaments, which is, well, talking of sliced bread, your bread and butter. You know, you can't experiment too much because you're trying to win. And there's so much riding on it that the stakes are high.
Sometimes, though, when you've been through the last 18 months like Devon has, does sometimes just having a new challenge just give you that extra little bit of spark?
Yeah, I think so. It's very much a reset mentality. You've only got to look back to that period, and it's not that long ago where he was the most prolific 180 hitter in world darts. Won a Euro Tour, was going deep in tournaments, hitting big numbers. And then, well, it was a culmination of things, a few injuries, and that then created a bit of a lack of confidence. And then he did start to tweak things while still a full-time pro, and I think he came unstuck.
140.
Not saying the advice he was given was wrong, but sometimes it's the timing of
60.
Doing those sort of drastic things. From what I've seen so far, he looks to have sort of gone back to basics.
And sometimes that's the easiest thing to do, is just to go back to square one. Well, this is more like it from Devon.
Well, you see a lot of it in golf.
161.
And some aspects. Oh, hello. I'm surprised you went down. That looked a nice slide. That looked begging to be followed.
97.
Yeah, with snooker, with their action, you see a lot of coaches will just take a player and break that action right all the way back down and then start from scratch. Golf swings, you can see some players start experimenting with swing
62.
and position and
64.
head speed and things like that. And that also can be you end up in a bit of a vicious circle.
56.
And then what happens is, I did it myself, I speak from experience, you actually forget and can't get back to how you threw in the beginning.
Can he kick off with a ton topper? The 1-3-4 could be incoming if he can find double 16.
102.
Grazes the wire and
Now
he
we require
fancied
8.
it, didn't he? 2 4s for Duff for the break.
Yeah, that would have just pricked the ears of Neil Duff.
No score. Devon, you require
It doesn't
32.
go, and so Peterson back for 3 more at double 16. It was a leg that Duff was in full control of.
8.
And it's one, he's going to get another chance
Now
to
we
win.
require 8.
Maybe we get the edgy
shot
leg
in
on
the
the doubles
first
out the
leg.
way with at the
Neil
beginning.
Duff.
Hopefully we get a chance to look at the shoes, not of Neil Duff, because I'm
Second
sure
leg is
they are
Neil
a
to throw first.
fine pair of shoes, but the actual shoes that Devon Peterson are wearing are actually dart specific.
100.
And incorporated into the sole is an angle which should position your leading
100.
foot where it should be. And as you can see with Neil Duff, he's very much side on, where ideally you should be
55.
just off of being fully side on. And as you can't quite, well, you can see it on the other foot, so because obviously if you're left-handed, you'll lead with your left foot.
100.
Maybe something we get to have a look at, and the reasoning behind tomorrow. Maybe catch up with Devon and give you a bit of inside information on them.
60.
Interesting you talk about going back to basics. I was actually watching the Netflix golf documentary a couple of days ago.
Not seen it myself.
Excellent documentary, I should recommend. When you're not watching the Super
45.
Series YouTube channel, I should be hastened to add. And they had an episode about Ricky Fowler and Butch Harmon, who's the best coach in the world, coached Tiger Woods when he was in his pomp. And basically, Butch was showing Ricky
140.
videos of back when he was emerging on the scene and he was prolifically winning titles. And by doing that, Ricky Fowler went from world number 186 back up the rankings, back winning tournaments. And basically, they went back to basics and almost
100.
teach him
Now we
how to
require
play the game again from
146.
scratch.
Yeah, I tried something similar, but yeah, I just once bad habits creep in there, and the reason they're bad habits is
98.
it feels very comfortable because it's
156.
not right.
And do you also think, because we play so many tournaments now,
100.
that
Now
bad
we
habits
require
can creep in
48.
even quicker?
Yeah, we listen. We see it a lot. You only got to look at Michael van Gerwen and that break in the wrist
Shot
he
the
has,
second
and
leg.
that
Neil
effectively is the problem Devon Peterson has gone through.
Duff. Third leg, it's Devon to throw first.
And breaking in that wrist is what created the injury in the throwing hand.
Well, Duff up 2-0 in this game. Got the break in the first, backed up in the last.
85.
The problem with what Devon's doing now to not create the break in the wrist, the backswing is shortened, and that it's compensated because he knows as soon as he comes back, the natural thing for you to do is break your wrist. And if you watch MVG, his point used to point skywards. You look at it now, it points in the floor because he's now got a break in the wrist in the action.
60.
Interesting when I've spoken to Glenn Doan about subjects like that, because when you have those issues, you then begin to think about it. And the one thing a dart player cannot do
100.
mid-throw is think.
No, you got to take your brain out.
85.
But I did have a little, you can see him going sort of ghost throwing. He knows he's doing it. He was very busy doing some great stuff with us prior to playing tonight, but I did manage to have a
100.
couple of minutes chat, and he was I know.
And I think this would be great for him as well because he's going to have 8 games which he can go back,
95.
look back,
Now we require
and assess
164.
everything. Duff 6-1-6-4 to open up a 3-0 lead for a double breaker throw. The bullseye wasn't far away. Would have been for 12.
Yeah, he's left it, so he's going for it.
And this is just quietly going under the radar a little bit, this
55. Now we
Duff
require
performance so
25.
far. And I don't... Usually you'd say players wouldn't mind it, but Neil's one of those players that
Game
likes
shot
to
in the third
let
there.
you know that he's
Neil
playing
Duff.
well, and he is playing well. He's 3-0 to the good.
Full flag is
Averaging
Neil to
90.
throw first.
33% on the doubles, which is what he has been averaging on the doubles all week. As a matter of fact, we were delving through the stats before the session got
140.
underway this evening. We were assessing Adam and Neil's stats of the week and then the other 3 players' stats for the last 12 months.
60.
And there's hardly a cigarette packet between the 5.
No, I think they're, in terms of a big sample of matches, I think it's less than 5
100.
points separate the whole group. And I'm talking about weekly numbers, seasonal numbers. So it should be super competitive unless someone
60.
over the next couple of nights or over in spells over the next couple of nights can find a real surge.
This is a man that very much could be a
82.
prime candidate for that. He's making short order of Devon Peterson in this opening game of the night.
100.
Devon will be back in game 3 against Chaz Barstow. He's going to get very used to the environment very quickly, but may not be used to it much more in this game because Duff's left double 4 after 12 to round off a comprehensive 4-0 win to begin the night's affairs.
8.
And no issue at all. Neil Duff ends on a 13 and wins 4-0 in the opening game of the night. It was a serene passage for Neil Duff. For Devon Peterson, his first game here at the Live Lounge ends in defeat. A real good performance from Duff. 95.5 the average, 40% when it came to the finishing. A 4-0 win against the African Warrior. Next up, Chris Quanto, former weekly winner, taking on Adam Lipscombe, the local favourite. Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break, Neil Duff got the better of Devon Peterson by 4 legs to 0. Real good performance from the Duff man, that. 95.5 average, 40% on the doubles. The Northern Irishman is up and running. Next up for us is Adam Lipscombe and Chris Quanto at the hockey. Lipscombe, who's been, statistically speaking, one of the best players of the week. 88.5 average for the last 3 days in Group A, up against a man who has been there, done it, and worn the t-shirt before in Chris Quanto. He won a week in Series 5 to make it through to Champions Week. The 32-year-old who hails from York. Quanto will be hoping to swan his way through to Champions Week once more, up against the baby boy, Adam Lipscombe
First leg, it's
from
Chris to
Porchester.
throw first. Game on.
Quanto, the quick-fire left-handed player.
58.
His games will go at a rat-a-tat pace.
Yeah, him and Barstow's match won't last long, even if it goes all the way.
140.
Good luck to the spotter in that one.
$59.
Could you imagine a group with Quanto, Barstow, Lauby, Klassen,
Spotter's nightmare.
60.
and Brian Roman just for, the giggles? We are going to see Brian
59.
Roman later on in this series. He's going to be playing under the ADC Europe umbrella. Ella.
100.
Oh yeah, enough of that. Anyway, Lipscombe making good progress in this first leg. Has taken the darts off of Quanto.
60.
Well, he'll be buoyed by his performances in Group A. And the levels he was playing at. Averaged
100.
88.60 for 3 days, 15 matches of action. That's quality.
Well, Lipscombe
57.
looking for the
And
going on a red
101.
pen leg, 101 after 12. It's the moniker of solidity,
81.
but just underneath the tops. Quite ironic I'm saying this. Slow start for Quanto.
134. Enemy
But he
required
sparked
20.
into life there. But by the
Game
time he
shot
found
not
finishing
first
range,
there.
Lipscombe had finished
Adam
the leg.
Lipscombe.
Yeah, I like that. Just a little step back, a reset.
Second leg, it's
Found
Adam
the
to throw
target, in
first.
control.
Game on. $120.
It's not the first or last of them we've seen this week.
125.
Here's a quirky stat for you, Mace. Every single leg so far
125.
tonight has gone on the right-hand side of the column. Which, in case you're wondering what on earth am I on about,
140.
we have predetermined running order as to who throws first and second in matches, and the player on the left will always have the darts in matches, with the possible exception of the
100.
final where you have a straight bull off.
Yeah, and these matches are reversed, so this will be the penultimate game of the session tomorrow night, and
40. And
it'll be Lipscombe
156.
who will get the darts tomorrow night.
Another one of them leaves double 18. Bends the wire, but what a start
120.
Lipscombe's making to this match.
$121. Enemy required 36.
Double 18 again. And now across for double 9. Quanto again keeping him honest. But he's seemingly been a visit behind.
Game shot in the
And he
second
now
leg.
finds himself 2-0
Adam
behind.
Lipscombe.
Lipscombe with a real solid start.
Yeah, and it was Chris Quanto,
Third leg, it's Chris
who
to throw
was
first.
favourite for this match, but effectively coming in a bit cold. Adam well up to speed
83.
and playing with lots of confidence.
Group B is just beginning to become Chris Quanto's domain here at the Super Series. The first time he played here, he played the full week, played the C. qualify, and then the second time round he played the B, and that's kind of been his home ever since here.
140.
Still waiting for our first max.
Not any longer.
180.
Boom. Timed to perfection.
Mystic Mace.
100.
Oh, a new one was coming.
$125.
Quanto's got 6 from here to find his first leg of the night.
92.
Yeah, didn't like dart 1. Don't blame him for staying on the 18s. Trouble 17's the shot.
84. Christopher Quant, 86.
2 in hand, a double 16.
Game shot
Perfectly
the
pinned,
third
14
there.
darter,
Chris
2-1. Good
Quanto.
contest this.
Clinical.
Fourth leg, it's Adam to throw first. $100. $140. $55.
He was aiming for the treble there, I do guarantee. $15, $14, $17 the darts have been won in this game so far. It's been a real good contest. I feel like these are the types of contests that we're going to see throughout the duration of the night. And in fact, I don't know, we're still only in the midway point of this game. It kind of backs up
100.
how close this group is. The pair here averaging 94 apiece. Duff averaged 95 in that one. Devon, we hope, will improve as the night
70.
goes along. And we're yet to see the man we both think is going to do some real damage in this group in Chaz Barstow.
81. $96.
And Quanto's on the verge here of turning this game on a pinhead. Was 2-0 down. Lipscombe got out the traps the quicker of the 2, but he's managed to
32.
pin the
Christopher Quant,
baby boy
112.
back in. He may be putting baby boy in the corner, but he's missed the big number.
72.
How costly
And
will that be?
133.
Prolific in the Tumpus plus out department.
Oh, and he's
Game
gone
shot
double,
the
double, and it is
forfeit.
delightful for
Adam
Lipscombe. A nice sign of respect as well
Yeah.
from Quanto.
Fifth leg, it's
Acknowledged.
Chris to throw first. Game on.
You know how good a shot that was. A real game changer. Chris Contock on the verge of levelling things up and putting us back on throw.
60.
And of course, he would then have advantage of throw.
60.
And as you mentioned, in a group which statistically is as tight as that, it could be just those
51.
moments that are the meager margins that separate 5 from 3.
100. $100.
Bye-bye, Baggy. Let that be a lesson to you all.
81.
I'll take you on about the chat room fam.
Absolute reptile.
58.
Gone now, though. Everybody else can enjoy the chat.
95.
It's not left to finish.
$140.
And Quantock has left himself on a 2 darter upon his return. What pressure can Lipscombe put on this?
65.
Well, he's
Christopher
left himself
Quant,
on a square
92.
ton. Quantock to move to back within 1. Double 16.
Game shot
2
the
from
fifth
2 on the
leg.
finishing, and both of them have been
Chris
pop
Quanto.
combinations. The 86 to win his first leg, the 92 to win his second,
Sixth leg, it's
but
Adam
now
to throw
Lipscombe has the
first.
throw for the match.
125.
Creative way of going for that finish as well, wasn't it? Double 19, double 19, double 19.
140.
Trying to think if I've seen that before. Must have done. Probably by Connor Scott
100.
or Brian Roman.
Connor Scott probably created it.
And it had to go.
121. $85.
That's the second Robin Hood of
40.
the night. And we're only in game 2. Robin Hood, but we're not joined alongside Glenn. Well, Lipscombe on a 2-darter for the
54.
match and a 4-2 victory. It's been a
91.
real good performance. It's been a real good contest.
Yeah, both players averaging over 92. It's been quality.
Double 10.
71.
To see it off.
We should require 146.
He hopes Quanto hasn't got a ton topper in the locker, but another one of them will give himself a darter. Double 16.
Game
Oh, his
shot
finishing
to
has been
sixth
so on point.
Chris Quanto.
When he's been given a chance, 3 from 3, how will he regret missing that big number that
Seventh and
allowed
final leg, it's
Adam
Chris to throw first.
to come back in and
Game
take the
on.
1-3-3? He's 3 from 3.
$60.
3 darts at double 16, 3 hits for Chris Quantock, and all of them have been on the back of combos. That one, the biggest one of the lot, the 146. Lipscombe himself, not too shabby, 3 from 9. He's had a 1-3-3 himself.
Well, that's
96.
in and around his stats for the week, isn't it?
This really is proper darts here at the Super Series.
100.
We thought this is exactly what this Group B was going to provide us, and it duly is delivering it.
Good evening, Kieran.
100.
Should have come down. It's a bit of a
60.
miscount, that.
It's one area which, by Adam's own admission, he knows is something he's just got to work upon. Actually, just having a look at the score in Power Pack.
59.
Adam Lipscombe's had 16
That's
ton-plus
remarkable.
throws.
Twice as many
100.
in terms of scores between a 1 ton and 139. 7 for Quantock, but he's hit 5 more
85.
140s.
Enemy require 106.
So that balances that out.
This is for the match. This will be for the 3rd ton-plus finish of the match. Tots for Lipscombe. To finish off a delightful contest in style.
Adam Lipscombe.
His 2nd ton-plus out, the 3rd of the game. And Lipscombe comes through by 4 legs to 3. He beats Chris Quantock in a high-quality contest. Both players averaging in excess of 90. Chris Quantock 3 from 3 on the finishing. That double 16 pinned to perfection on each and every occasion. But Lipscombe, those 2 ton-plus finishes, well, that's been the difference in the game. So Lipscombe wins 4-3. Devon Peterson returns to the stage. He takes on the man who is the favourite to go on and take glory, Chaz Barstow. Well, Group B is for business here at the Super Series. Before the break, Adam Lipscombe got the better of Chris Quanto 4-3 in a real pulsating affair. 3-ton plus checkouts, both players averaging in excess of 90, but it was Lipscombe who went over the line in the last leg decider. Next up, the man who is the favourite to win the group, Chaz Barstow, the 45-year-old from Winchester, taking on Devon Peterson, the African warrior. He could be the African warrior if he loses this particular match. Playing his second game already, loses that one. He could be in a bit of trouble.
Nice little question from someone called Goldie987, who popularised double finishes. A lot of players seem to do it these days, but was there someone who started that trend? Well, it's not necessarily a new thing. It did happen, but it was quite rare. Rob Harrington did it more than probably anybody in the 90s. But of course, the treble and double sizes increased, and as has the ability of a lot of players. There's a much deeper pool, and players are more comfortable now using a double in their combination. It mathematically makes sense. It's twice the size of the treble.
40.
Someone said MVG started that. No, David.
When do you think the trend of double changed from being known as by some disrespectful to being the smart way to go?
Probably around the time James Wade was doing it. He was so prolific on tops, wasn't he, that he was one of the few players with 3 in hand that would go tops on 80 on dart 1 and 2. But he had so much confidence in hitting the tops and did, which justified the choice.
22.
Barstow up and running quite comfortably, as we expected he was going to be. This is kind of his
60
platform. Group B, Thursday, Friday night. It's like death and taxes. It's just a certainty waiting to happen.
140. Judge of 144.
Want to finish after 12? What can he do with the 144? Not take it out, but he's going to come back for another crack.
44.
And back for the square ton.
$45. Judge require 100.
For 1-0. Well, maybe it will be tops. Well, that was the intention. That was the
60.
plan. But again, has got time. It's been a sedate start for Peterson in this particular contest.
Congratulations to Luke Humphries,
97. Judge
won
require
the
40.
Premier League night tonight in Dublin, defeating Michael Smith
Game
6-2
shot
in the final with a
Chaz Barstow.
105.53. In his semi-final, he beat Aspinall 6-4.
Second against Devon to throw first.
104.87. And then in the opening match of the night against Peter Wright, he averaged 106.09. So he's averaged around about 105 for the night.
140.
That's why he's the world number 1 and the world champion.
It's those types of numbers, which is why you're happily retired, isn't it?
Absolutely. Imagine walking into
90.
that and higher every weekend on the Pro Tour. No thanks. Much happier here in my little space, my safe place.
With your little chat room open.
60.
Living the life of luxury with the wood-stoked fireplace.
Yep, living the dream.
Who would have thought that Chris Mason's dream would be
83.
being in a church in Portsmouth?
Everybody changes. Don't go in. Don't do it. Didn't want to hear but you after that.
85. 84.
First time I've been in a church and not had to confess any sins.
85. 140. Devon Nick 131.
There's pressure on this 1-3-1. which isn't going to go. And so Barstow back for 104 to get the break and get a 2-0 lead.
53. Charge of require 104.
Has to move across. Because of the chunky barrels, it makes those second darts awkward, but it's a great second dart.
92.
But the third one
Revenue required
drops
78.
below. And so Peterson, opportunity to win his first leg of the night. Dart at tops to do exactly that.
58. Charge of required 12.
He's had a chance. He had 4 chances against Neil Duff. Is he going to get any more chances in this leg? No is the
Finish on the
emphatic answer.
second leg.
Barstow breaks and
Chaz
leads
Barstow.
2-0. Pretty much
So they get
regulation
chance to
as
throw
expected
first.
so far for
Game on.
Chaz. Devon doing the phantom throw in the
57.
background.
I love these kind of questions. They expect you not to answer them. No, Kevin. He won't be playing for the foreseeable future. Hope that helps,
95.
Chad. Chad Smith, how long are Peterson's darts? Anyone know?
100.
I don't know. They look very long. Long point. Standard barrel length with a long stem.
Turns out
45.
longer points just becoming a bit of a trend these days, aren't they?
Yes. For players whose darts sit up, they're ideal. They just leave a bit more
140.
target. Chaz Barstow's darts are, well, I remember then they were around and very popular years ago. A real basic
60.
introduction to darts type of dart.
Yeah, the chunky barrels, the bunker busters.
80.
Actually, a lot of people making reference to Devon's throw. Well, go back and watch Devon 4 years ago, and
60. Charge of
it's
require
not far off this. But
124.
of course, then he had lots of confidence.
And I don't think there's many more sports I can think of that
100.
draws upon confidence more than darts, particularly individual sports.
Yeah, once you can play this game, it's the rest of it's being played between the ears.
42. Charge of required 24.
There's so many different components that go through your mind when you throw, whereas there's an innate natural ability about
18.
when you play tennis, you kind of, even though you don't know what kind of shot's coming back at you, you kind of still know, right, it's a forehand, you know how to do that. And with darts, it could be a bit different because you've got 110 different things to think about. Not just throwing, but
100.
obviously
Charge of
when you get to
required
check
6.
out, thinking about where to go and other such things. Double free for 3-0. Has a think.
It's one of those. Do you really want to go at
No
double
score.
one? That probably
Giving
the
him a
split
score,
2 for
99.
double 2 is the shout.
Peterson's got 99 problems.
59.
And being
Charge of
3-0 down
required
could be one of them.
6.
Splits for 2 double 2.
Game shot in the third leg.
Perfectly executed.
Barstow.
Barstow 3 up.
Someone asking if Flight Club in
Flag, it's Devon to throw
London is
first.
actually worth it.
Game.
I went and I had a thoroughly good time. If there's a group of you that are not particularly serious players, then yeah, it's a good fun night out.
180.
Bit like that advert, isn't it? Devon.
41.
Again, Joseph, go back and look at footage from 4 years ago. Tell me what you think. Go on, Devon.
Go on, Devon.
140.
Oh, for a minute we almost thought it was going to be Devon's 9-dart heaven.
$38.
But he looks like he's going to be poised now to pick up his first leg of the night.
No, Kevin, he's currently suspended. So a big difference.
44.
This has been a severe off leg for Chaz
47.
Barstow.
Devon, you reckon 137.
Well, this is for a 12. This will give him a whole heap of confidence. Not a million miles away from the treble. Right next, and that's again, when you're struggling, when you're not struggling, they find the target.
61.
I get the sense Devon's going to be a player here over the next couple of days, that the small things are just going to build up towards a bigger picture and a bigger spectrum by the end of his time here.
57. Devon, you requires 76.
Tops.
36.
But he is going to come back for definitely 3 more in hand. Make that 6 more in hand.
94. Devon, you require 40.
To break the duck.
32.
Yep, I like that play with Chaz back on 224.
$98. Devon, you require 8.
So 3 more goes, this time double 4. And the way it stood up, that should be nice for Devon. It is
Angel
nice
on
for
the fourth
Devon.
leg.
And he gets his
Devon
first leg
Peterson.
on the board.
That will be of relief
The leg
after
it's Chaz to
match
throw
1.
first. Game on.
All baby steps for Devon.
$43.
Well, after what was a decent start for Chaz, it just looks like he's come off the boil
60.
somewhat.
$96. $60. $83.
At his best, Barstow is an absolute scoring machine. Remember that
60.
barrage in that first set of the World Championships against Van Gerwen. It was 140s for fun in that first set, which he took against MVG.
59.
Here's an interesting one. How do the darts gods find out if a player's been gambling or not? Well, players
100.
this falls under the auspices of the DRA, so you're not allowed to gamble. But every bet placed goes
123.
into like a main frame, doesn't it? So if there's any kind of irregular patterns that get flagged,
85. Judge
that's
required
how
97.
the betting or gambling commission are aware of something that's irregular.
$57. Devon, you require 136.
Not sure how it works in other countries, but certainly in the UK and Ireland.
He's looking for a second there to lead double 8. So Barstow's going to come back 3 in
96.
hand
Judge required
at tops
40.
for the match and for a 4-1 victory.
Game
And a
shot
4-1
and the
victory it
match.
is, and the favourite to
Chaz
go on and win this
Barstow.
group, Chaz Barstow, is on the board. He beats Devon Peterson by 4 legs to 1. It's all smiles, but you could see the shake of the head there. Well, as far as the contest is concerned, it wasn't quite the rip-roaring heights that we were hoping or expecting, but Barstow on the board, and that's all that he'll worry about in this particular moment. Coming up after the break, strap yourselves in, because Duff and Quanto could be a real cracker. Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where before the break, Chaz Barstow, the favourite to win Group B, got his campaign up and running, beating Devon Peterson by 4-1. The African warrior losing his first 2 matches of the group. Next up for us, Neil Duff and Chris Quanto in action. Both players playing well in their opening match. Duff 95-43 and beating Devon Peterson to 0, whilst Chris Quantock lost out in an absolute classic against Adam Lipscombe with a 91.05 average. He was 3 from 3 when it came to the finishing, including a 146 check to take us the distance. If these two play like they did in their opening game, we're going to be in for quite the contest.
Yeah, it's certainly a match that stood out when we seen the schedule for tonight's play.
First leg, it's Neil to throw first.
Dean asks,
Game on.
what time do you get to sleep after a night of commentating? Around about 2 a.m, which isn't too bad now, but when we previously had to start at 9:30 on the Friday morning, that was a bit of a killer, because then it finished a little later. Would usually get to sleep around about 2:30 and then back in the studio for 7:30. We said it was going to be a contest, Henry. What a start.
Well, that's the first non-perfect dart of the game.
60.
Well, neither could provide the goods in the second visit. Do you remember that week where we finished at 3 in the morning on the
96.
Thursday and then we're in at 9 o'clock
Well,
on the Friday?
We were in at 7, getting ready for the start. Well, 7:30, wasn't it? 7:30 for 9:30.
55.
Yeah, I'm glad we never cut to the commentary box that day, because if you saw the bags under my eyes, a certain supermarket would have paid 20p for it.
Yeah, the only
57.
bull up we do here at the Super Series is for the final. So in this match,
140.
it was the matches were generated by a bit of software, and then all it does is reverses it for
80. Now we
the
require
fixtures
66.
tomorrow. So Chris Quantock will have the throw in this match against Neil tomorrow night.
Dart at top, so Neil Duff to take out the opening leg.
Game shot.
Takes it, and you think he would have been wary as well,
Neil
because
Duff.
he knows Chris Quantock's record when it comes to the finishing tonight. Duff leads 1-0.
Second leg, it's Chris to throw first. Game on.
Neil's in one of those positions a little bit like
96.
Steve West, because he doesn't play on the Challenge Tour. Sometimes the way that we read him as one of the top players in the amateur game can just be skewed a little bit. Would you say, in terms of
55.
outside the PDC, definitely top 16 players without a tour card?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say on his best day.
96.
We've seen some top quality performances from him, haven't we, over the last 12 months or so? 107 averages on multiple occasions, 105s.
97.
You could perhaps make an argument he's playing better now than what he did when he won the Lakeside 2
58.
years ago.
$59. $60. $60. $91.
How much pressure? Oh, I was going to say a ton or a 140 or a 180.
85.
Would
Which
have piled the
require
pressure
100.
on Chris Quantock. Can't afford to drop his throw here. And his finishing continues to
Game
be
shot
on
the
point.
second leg. Chris Quanto.
But that's the first time he's missed at double all night. But he found it with the second.
Third leg, it's
Quantock's
Neil
from
to throw
Yorkshire, isn't he?
first. Game on.
Yes, from York itself.
From York in Yorkshire.
Very proud of his Yorkshire roots
97.
as well, is Chris.
His dad wasn't a bad player. He was around when I was playing.
He played for the Yorkshire
57.
belt when he came here a few months ago, back when we had the belt matches here. And it was a shame, really, we didn't broadcast that game because that match with
Oh,
Tom
it was
Sykes,
outstanding. We all watched it, didn't we?
81.
both averaging mid-90s. It went all the way. Sykes 187.
But it was
60.
Chris who went on to win the night on the Saturday night, didn't he? That took place in the afternoon. And then Corny went on to win the week that Saturday night.
140.
Did it in some style.
100. $50. $63. Now we record 133.
Oh, great news. Congratulations to Wales winning 4-1 in effectively what is their semi-final for qualification for the Euros.
Yeah, beat Finland
43.
4-1. Goals from David Brooks, Nico Williams, Johnson, and Dan James sealing that win at the Cardiff City Stadium.
81. Now we require 90.
Can Duff pin the 90? 2 darts, a double 15 for a 2-1 lead.
Game shot in the third leg. Nailed
Everything
Duff.
about this contest has just been solid so far.
Fourth leg, it's Chris to throw first.
You kind of know what both players are going to do, and if you're languishing around after 4 or 5 visits, don't expect to
81.
have opportunities. It's just solid and efficient. The average is 86 and 84.
100.
Duff 2 from 2 on the finishing. Quanto 1 from 2.
96. $100.
Group with a bit of bite, isn't it, Mace?
Neil Duff starting to try and
What?
eat away at the throw
180.
of Chris Quantock, but what a time to find a max.
Sinking his teeth into the contest.
100. Chris, you require 144.
Sam Golding asks, when's Phil Taylor popping in for a week or commentary?
60.
I don't
Now
think
we
he'll be
require
doing either. This is his
161.
final year of competitive play.
Have you done your quick fire questions,
48.
Mace?
Chris, you require 84.
I have, yes.
Did they ask you the player that you haven't seen at the Super Series you'd like to see?
Yes, I think I said Richie Burnett.
59. Now we require 130.
I'm sure we can make that happen. Duff hoping to make the 113 happen for a 3-1 lead and the breaker throw. It meaning then be thrown for the match. It's going to be a dart at tops.
93.
Correct, RDM.
Chris, you require 25.
Double 8.
17.
Well, Quantock hasn't
Now
missed
we
much,
require 20.
but those could be 2 misses. That could cost him dearly.
No score.
But he will be
Chris,
reprieved.
you require 8.
He's dodged one there if he can find double 4 or double 2.
Game shot in the fourth leg.
And level we are at 2
Chris
apiece.
Quantock. Fifth leg, it's Neil to throw first. Game on.
As expected, a hotly contested match.
100.
We've got a little bit of excitement as well a little bit later on because after the Lipscombe Barstow game, we're going to announce the lineup for week
81.
5. And I tell you now, it is worth staying up late for. Tell you what, when I had a look at the lineup, when I got wind of it,
I
got a little bit excited.
Yeah, looks to be another exciting week here at the Super Series.
41.
I'm going to give a little bit of a tease. Good luck to our spotter for 2 players for 2
100.
completely contrasting reasons. That's all I'm going to give away.
121. Now we have a 121.
So how did they go Borzo with Quanto not on a finish?
89.
Someone saying perhaps Les Wallace could make an appearance at Modus. He already has. Where have you been, Kevin?
94.
Played Southampton, didn't he?
Now we require
He did.
32.
For 13 data. 88, and the first 2 darts basically means that the target
16.
was obscured.
Which you require 164.
The ball for the 164.
133. Now we require 60.
That would have been incredible. Duff back for 88 for 3-2. Over for 4-4.
Game shot on the
3-2
fifth
to
leg.
Neil Duff.
Neil Duff.
Gets his nose in front.
Sixth leg, it's Chris to throw
Eric
first.
Clark saying, I'd love to see more Canadians. Well, it's not like it's a couple of hours away, is it?
57.
But I'm sure in the near future we will have more players from that part of the world.
125.
Well, I know speaking to the powers that be in this building that the intention is to try and
60.
get as many North American players over as possible.
Well, we need a Moscone Cup style week, don't we, as a special week?
Shall we see if we can hire out somewhere in Las
45.
Vegas for it?
We'd have to do it home and away.
Exactly. We'd have to do 1 week at home, 1 week away. Make sure me and you book for the Las Vegas week.
100.
Then we'll book annual leave for the next week so we can stay in Vegas for another week. I've got it all mapped out, mate.
140.
Don't think me and Murph would come home.
60. $98.
Big trouble that in the context of this match. Forcing Chris Quanto to
83. Now we require
needed
93.
a 2 trouble visits. So I mentioned John Part. He's already played. Not that long ago.
Last year. That was so last year.
38. Chris, you reckon 141.
Well, he's already had a 146, but Quantock isn't going to add a 141 to the repertoire, and so Duff is back for 55 for the match. He's put his foot to the pedal at the perfect time, has Nil. Assaulted the
45.
Quantock darts at the most
Now we
opportune
require
moment.
55.
And he is now going to get a couple of match darts to complete the job. 2 at tops. And that first dart's a perfect guide. But the second
35.
doesn't fall in.
Chris, you require
Well, his
96.
2 dart finishing has been brilliant at times. Macy double here. Yeah, went for tops for double 18.
60. Now we require
Should
20.
be his last darts.
It will be the last
Game
dart
shot and the
as
match.
Duff doubles up.
Neil Duff.
2 victories from 2 to kickstart his night. And the former WDF World Champion doing what he's become so accustomed to doing here at the Live Lounge, getting better as the week goes along. 84.39 the average, 4 from 14 on the doubles. Duff runs out a 4-2 victor. The halfway match is coming up after the break, and it sees 2 local favourites go toe-to-toe as Adam Lipscombe faces off against Chaz Barstow. Welcome back to the Super Series, where we have reached the halfway point of the evening session already. Adam Lipscombe and Chaz Barstow in our 5th renewal of Thursday evening. Before the break, we saw the Duff man, Neil Duff, get his 2nd victory of the night, a 4-2 win against Chris Quanto with an 84.39 average. That was despite missing 10 darts and a double in that particular contest. Neil Duff doing what he does best, and that's getting better as the week goes along. Chaz Barstow will be hoping to be better than his first game. Yes, it was a 4-1 win against Devon Peterson, but it was an average in the mid-70s. Type of performance we didn't expect to see from Chaz, it's fair to say.
Yeah, it started off well and then just completely went off the boil. Lots of suggestions for not just players, 96. But formats. Maybe a doubles week. Yeah, we're looking at that. We will be doing a specials week, effectively week 14. So it's
60.
A 12-week cycle to get our 12 weekly champions, then champs week, and then it'll be followed by a specials week, as it was
58.
5 weeks ago now, Henry, where Neil Duff won the double trouble week. Someone mentioned 80. Wesley Plazier. Yep, I'm sure he will be making an appearance in the not too distant future.
Yeah, I'd like to see the double trouble as a one-off a year. 'Cause I feel like that could really work, a one-off double start week a year. Almost could become an annual tournament within its own right.
Someone else saying I'd love to see a senior weeks again.
70.
Senior week again. All the past world champs. Well, I don't think there is 12 past world champions over 50.
68.
I'm still playing.
I reckon you could squeeze 12 and you'd take the age bracket out, include World Seniors Championships, possibly.
100.
I'm trying to rack my brains round. Because you can count, obviously, Bo, Lisa as WDF World Champions, Henderson and Thornton as World Seniors Champions.
Possibly.
159.
Oh, this is excellent for Barstow.
Yeah, super setup. Teammates, these two, of course. Double 15. Wow.
Game shot in the first.
That was a massive element to his play on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Second against Chaz to throw.
Adam Lipscombe has won 5 legs tonight. 3 of them have been with ton plus checkouts.
Someone wants to know about the Influencer Charity Day, which is on the... When is it, Henry?
Sunday, April the 28th. I'm surprised you haven't got it in the diary by
60.
now.
You can get your tickets for that via dartshop.tv, so you can be here and be a part of all the fun and frolic. Someone wants to know what the format's going to be. I'm not sure that's been decided yet.
I think, isn't it doubles, but I don't actually know what the playing format is.
Yeah, I think it is doubles. It's
24.
An influencer with a player, isn't it?
Yeah, raising money for a charity.
92.
Dartshop.tv. Tickets are a tenner for that particular event. Same site, you can get your tickets for a Saturday night here at the Live Lounge. And if these two make it through, you ain't going to get a ticket for Saturday night.
$41.
Barstow, 6 darts on 135 to square this game up.
It's got a bit of a wobbly stem there.
97.
These two were so at home playing against one another. They would have played on pretty much every stage against one another.
Judge required 38.
Barstow double 19.
I'm amazed he's not split.
Adam require 151.
Well, to be honest, we kind of expect this to go the way he's hit ton plus outs, but the 151 is going to add to the glowing and growing collection of the 133, the 106.
79. Judge required 38.
Et al.
Game shot in the
Barstow
second.
finds the double 19 eventually to square this game back up. 1-1.
Everything going with throws so far.
Game on.
They made Chaz a 4-6 favourite against the darts in this one.
100.
Adam Lipscombe 11-10.
$140.
Well, that is the QR code that you want to scan. If you want to be here on a Saturday night here at the
59.
Super Series, it's a £2 booking fee and a great night worth of darts and great offer as well on drinks. Free for a tenner. You don't get that anywhere these days, do you?
190.
A great night's worth of entertainment here on the South Coast, so please do join us. Tickets for the next 3 months are available on there. So do come and
100.
join us. The date you want to rubber stamp, if you want to be a part of Champions Night, is Saturday the 25th of May. You could have a real good night because the FA Cup final's on that day. So you
77.
could find somewhere to enjoy the FA Cup final in the sunshine and then come down here and enjoy a night where somebody else will be collecting a cup. The Super Series Cup.
120.
Ooh, in and out for Adam.
Judge
That
record
made
104.
potentially some difference to the leg. Matthew Doubleday says, "Hi Mace, could you give me a nickname involving my second name? You don't need one, mate. It's all
54.
there.
Adam, you record 122.
Doubleday.
Double 7 for another ton topper.
Just confirming.
Game
Gets it.
shot
Wow,
the third
110.
leg.
And
Adam
1-2-2 to lead 2-1.
He's
Well,
taking
biggest
out
chance to
ton
throw
toppers
first.
like they're going out
Game on.
of business, Adam Lipscombe. Just doing a day's work for baby boy.
58.
I still want to know why the baby on the back of his shirt's got a tattoo on it.
59.
Well, because it's him.
Adam in a nappy.
123. $85.
Adam, who came through the ADC Vault series, which you can get involved with as well. Dart Circuit, the place to be for that.
180.
Lovely, Max. Had to move to find the open bed.
$95. Judge require 140.
6 darts to square this game up at 2-2. Barstow may only need the 3. That's perfect. Double 10
130.
to have hoisted Lipscombe with his own petard.
98. Judge require 10.
Should take this, Chaz, because he'll probably take the 164 out.
Game
Does
shot
take
the
it.
fourth
2-2.
leg.
14
Chance
darter.
Barstow.
4 holds a throw.
Fifth leg, it's Adam to throw first.
Another
Game.
really enjoyable contest on what has been, fair to say, a very enjoyable night worth of darts so far here at the Live Lounge in
125.
Portsmouth. 2-2 in this one. Barstow averaging 96.5. Lipscombe 86.
Yeah, and the reason for that
125.
difference in numbers is because it's been 2 strong legs from Barstow on the Lipscombe throw and not so the other way
95.
around on the Barstow throw for Lipscombe.
As great as it is, Lipscombe winning 2 legs with ton plus as, it's also indicative of the fact that he's being
140.
severely outscored by Barstow.
Correct.
40.
And this leg is very much in the offing. And Barstow will sense the break opportunity, which would then give him the chance to throw for the match.
43.
Kieran Ballard, it's a shame I won't be able to watch Champions Night because I'm going to Taylor versus Cattrall on the 25th. There'll probably be
41.
more action at this fight, pal. This night, pal.
What? There's going to be a fight? What is it, me v Owen on the stage?
Well, about the same weight.
42.
Super lightweight.
Yeah, you'd be around that.
100.
Well, these are two Super Series
Record
heavyweights jousting it
151.
out.
Traditional. Needed the treble to start the combination.
97.
Well, this is quite literally a ton topper, but it can't be done.
Dear. Would have preferred a bounce out.
40.
Literally
Judge required
the worst dart
54.
he could have thrown. And now Barstow does get his break opportunity to take a real stranglehold of this match. Double 10.
Game
Barstow
shown the
gets the
fifth
break,
leg.
and now Chaz
Chaz
throws for the
Barstow.
match. And this would be to put him
Sixth leg,
2
it's
from
Chaz
2
to
at the
throw
beginning of the
first.
night.
Game
It
on.
mean him and Duff would have the ascendancy at the halfway point. Effectively, it would be 4 for Barstow, 4 for
59.
Duff, 0 for Quanto, 0 for Peterson, and 2 for Lipscombe.
97.
Good point, Jack. Well made.
$140.
Apparently, I can't fight my way out of a wet paper bag.
41. $43.
She's not giving me a puncher's chance in a fight then, mate.
No, because you'd have to land one and throw one.
135. $90.
Are you ready for your appearance in a big wet paper bag?
58. Chaz's last score was
Didn't think that my
90.
night would comment on that being said live. Just readjusting 1 or 2 things here.
Someone asking if Kevin Pryor in with a question. Is Rhiannon O'Sullivan related to Ronnie? Yep, they're brother and sister. Twins, I do believe.
Rihanna player who I'd love to see here have an assault at
Yep.
a Group C. I think that you look at her numbers, the way that she's played in the WDF tournaments and on the women's series, I think she'd more than mix it here.
Yeah, fabulous player.
137. Enemy record 170.
If I was allowed a wild card pick, that would be one right up there on the list.
58. Chaz, you required 32.
For the match. And for 2 wins from 2. 88.
16.
Normally loves it
Enemy
in that
record
area.
112.
Here we go again, another ton plus out.
But we know what happens here. Tops.
Game shot the sixth
Not
leg.
another one.
Adam Lipscombe.
Is that 3 in the match?
7.
Indeed. It's only ever been done once as a player completed a match with 4 ton
Game
plus
on.
checkouts. Graham
Graham
Usher.
Usher, when he had the 9.
Indeed. That was my first ever 9 darter on commentary. Lipscombe couldn't do it with a 9 darter, could he?
140. No. 100. $66. $100.
Still a slight advantage of throw for Adam Lipscombe.
60. $125.
Just another one on the female
121.
line. We're just having a look on the chat room. Nicole Renard, the player from New Zealand.
Yes, I seen her play at the last Lakeside. What a wonderful action she has.
100. Enemy record 114.
Certainly has a big future ahead with a throw like that.
Could be a moment of history here. Lipscombe isn't going to do what Graham Usher did and take out 4-ton plus checkouts to win a match.
98.
But he could win the match if
Judge
Barstow
requires
doesn't take out this 76 because he's poised on double 8. It's going to be a dart at tots for Barstow.
56.
Doesn't go. And now Lipscombe's got his
Adam
chance to go
requires
2 from 2
16.
at the beginning of the night. Double 8 for a
Game, shot,
perfect
and the
doubling
match.
performance.
Adam
Lipscombe picks up 2 wins from 2. Chaz Barstow had opportunities to do that himself, but Lipscombe runs out 4-3 victor, defying an average 8 points inferior, but it's 10 missed doubles has come to cost Chaz Barstow. We're going to take a short break. When we return, we'll round up the action we've seen so far and tell you the lineup for next week.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where we're at the midway point of our evening session here in Portsmouth. Chris Mason and I have been watching every single dart as it's gone in, and this is what we have seen up to press. An intriguing night's worth of action, high quality night worth of action as well. Adam Lipscombe 2 from 2, as is Neil Duff so far as proceedings are concerned. As I say, Chris Mason alongside me here in the studio. Before we talk about the 2 players at the top of the table, I want to talk about the debutant, Devon Peterson, in action. What will be the assessment of yourself as far as his campaign's gone?
As we expected, you know, he's coming into here with little to no confidence. It's been a tough time for him. He's had to get his head around losing his tour card, which is never nice for a player. But yeah, listen, he won't be disheartened. He's made from different stuff, is Devon, and he'll be using this as an exercise in that path back to getting back on the tour.
But he almost got off to the perfect start, didn't he, against Neil Duff, grazing the wire for the 1-3-4, and then found out very quickly what this format can be like.
Yeah, listen, it's a race to 4. It is cutthroat. He's used to, of course, playing a race to 6, a best of 11, a much longer game to really get into it. And you never know if that double 16 goes in. It's a different mindset altogether. And he ended up getting done 4-0 in the end in that match. But listen, like I said, it's all about a rebuilding process for him, and he will get better over the course of 2 nights.
If game 1 got us close to ton plus finishes, game 2 saw him nailed and to some degree.
Yeah, I mean that's been very much a theme, especially for Adam Lipscombe so far. He's been terrific on the ton plus outs, as he was on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It has to be said, he's the man for the shots out. But this was a beautiful 1-4-6 from Quanto, who is yet to pick up a win incredibly, and you'll be wondering what on earth have I got to do to get some points on the board. But that is the nature of this group. We said it was going to be tough because it does involve some high quality players, and he's played 2 already.
It most certainly does. Right, let's have a look at the table then, at the halfway point of the evening session. Neil Duff tops the pile, and we said at the start of the show, he's the type of player that as the week goes along, he just gets better.
Yeah, he's got it down to a fine art, hasn't he? He doesn't over practice in the week before, so he comes in nice and fresh. Although he might not be at his best, he's worked out a format of just ticking over through Group A and finding some confidence, finding some form, and then usually by the Thursday and Friday he's up to full speed and up and running, and he showed it so far tonight. Two great performances against, not so much pushed in match 1, but certainly in match 2.
Interesting to see the 2 players at the top of the table, the 2 players that dropped out of Group A.
Yeah, and I personally think it's an advantage having the 3 days action. For Adam, you mentioned it just in that break, sleeping in his own bed is a massive advantage. And of course, they finished yesterday afternoon. They have all of yesterday to recover, all day today, so they come in well practiced and sharp.
Well, that was the action tonight. Let's have a little bit of a look ahead here at the Super Series. I'll tell you what is happening next week, because this is an incredible lineup. Connor Scott, Leonard Gates, Mike Warburton, Andreas Harrison amongst the mix. Let's begin with Group A first, because that is lightning as far as the group is concerned.
Yeah, I don't know that much about Max, but a big fan of Connor Scott, and Leonard Gates has had an incredible couple of years, hasn't he? He's made a real name for himself. Burgoyne's going to be interesting as well, seeing him in there in the mix. It's shaping up to be a brilliant week next week.
Let's have a look at the groups later on in the week, and in particular Group C. Ashley Coleman, another player that a lot of people have kept a lot of eyes on in recent times. Jared Cole, a player who has come so close here, but yet to get over the line. And Greg Ritchie, a player we haven't seen here in a while.
Yeah, know a lot about Greg Ritchie from Scotland, of course, and he played in Southampton a fair few times. Jared Cole, we know he's one of those young players who's just looking for that breakthrough. Don't know anything about Ashley Coleman at all. I'm not sure how he qualified, whether it's an ADC system. I'm not quite sure.
Well, Ashley Coleman's going to be in action next week. Also, 11 other players, and the action will get underway from 9:30 a.m. on Monday morning on the Super Series YouTube channel. But back to the action here in Portsmouth, because we are entering the second half of the session, and we're looking to see 3 players from this group make it through to Saturday night's final, which you can be a part of every single week. Tickets are available, and if you want to know more about that, have a look at this.
Two players looking to pick up their first points of the night go toe-to-toe in our 6th game of the session as we watch Chris Quanto and Devon Peterson go toe-to-toe. And Chris Quanto can feel unlucky, can't he, a little bit about the way tonight's gone?
Yeah, absolutely. He's thrown some terrific stuff with no reward, but well, on what we've seen so far, you would think he would get something out of this one, but not too long ago, only a matter of just over a week or so ago,
Devon to throw first.
Devon produced a wonderful performance in beating Richie Burnett on the Challenge Tour with a 94 and change average, and you never know, I suppose. That's the beauty of our game.
Any outcome is possible, no matter how unlikely it may seem, was the quote from Rod Studd.
60.
Certainly. Spot on.
60.
But it is a thoroughly good-looking lineup for next week, isn't it?
Oh, isn't it just?
Good to see David
42.
Davis. There's another player who has benefited massively from this system.
I wonder if he's going to be bringing his new mascot, Tallulah, with him next week.
60.
There's a story behind that, which I'm sure we're going to get to the bottom of next week.
Harry Sawyer.
100.
Can you shout out my mate Gaza? First time watching, he loves it. Welcome to the action, Gaza. Glad you're enjoying it.
Well, to be fair, as we've learned from previous
95.
experiences, Gaza's friends of everybody, isn't he?
I wonder if he's bought some KFC.
140.
140 there leaves Quantock on a bogey number.
44.
The lowest bogey you can have.
79.
That was Dick and Dom, wasn't it? Bogeys.
Who are they?
They were the lads in the bungalow.
60. Chris
Which
Require, 80.
was... Are these more of these influencer friends of yours?
Tots of Quantock.
60.
Does it go?
Were they like Ant and Dec or something?
154.
Basically, but
From Wish.
but but for kids' TV, they were popular back when I was growing up.
58. Chris Require, 20.
I didn't watch kids' TV when I was a kid, pal.
Game shot on the first
Fair
leg.
enough, and that's fair enough from
Chris
Chris
Quanto.
Quantock. He leads 1-0 with a break.
Second leg, it's Chris to throw first.
Used to be on After Blue Peter. Back in my day.
134.
Look what dumbing down has done for the generation, eh?
45.
Oh, apparently someone here called Ping is saying Ashley Coleman is a YouTuber.
60.
Okay.
Yeah, qualified for the UK Open earlier on this year. Done some damage at Q School.
Via O'Reilly's qualifier?
Yes, yeah,
60.
qualified through that. Got through to stage 2, I believe, of Q School as well. Beat Fallon Sherrick at Q School.
Did he? He can obviously play a bit then.
139.
I was speaking to one of our social media gurus earlier on in the day, and as you know,
81.
players get requested all the time, and basically of the players that hadn't played here before, he was pretty much the one or one of the
58.
ones that people were clamouring for.
Well, another reason to tune in.
135. Croatia for 110.
Double 18 for double 18 for another ton plus check.
74.
Someone here mentioning Jamie Robinson for week 6, please. Well, has he qualified via the ADC?
81.
Can I have one guess who
Require
sent that
36.
message? Double 14 for Quanny for
Game's on the
2-0 and a
second
17
leg.
dart leg.
Chris Quantock.
I believe, is it one of the boxing
Full leg, it's
podcasts who
Devon
sent
to
that
throw
in?
first.
Boxing Social. Didn't know they were dart fans.
I think they're a little bit disappointed Scholes is not commentating tonight.
45.
Evening, lads.
$140.
It's just incredible, some of the people that tune in, isn't it?
60.
Sure is. Oh,
45.
someone's asking when I'm back playing next year. Well, it's my only window of opportunity. Got a full schedule this year.
45.
I want to say hello to Josh, watching from Australia. G'day, Josh.
60.
Evening Hammer Time. What a great name. What a great song. It's Andy Hamilton's
60.
walk on, isn't it?
Yeah, and we'll hear that walk on Saturday. He takes on John Henderson at the Seniors Champion of Champions.
140.
Quanto making this quite routine so far. 116 after 12, looking to get the double break and a 3-0 lead.
Christopher, 116.
And he's got the luxury of time. Not going to go this time. Not that he needed to go. And Devon's face in the background kind of said, well, I should be putting more pressure on shots like this.
92.
Well, super recovery dart from Quanny.
$125. Christopher, required 24.
There's a smile on the outside, but you
Game's
can
on the
tell
third
on the
there.
inside that
Chris Quanto.
Devon Peterson is at one with himself. He knows that he should be putting more pressure on, but Quantock leads 3-0. He gets the double break.
Chris to throw first.
Jamie Robertson
Game
been
on.
asked for more, only by you. If he's that good and can play, he will qualify. I don't understand it.
80.
Is there any other senior events this season? Yes,
40.
this weekend. Viva Blackpool on the BBC iPlayer and Red Button, Saturday afternoon and
96.
Sunday afternoon.
I think I'll see my favourite comment on the night, Matthew Doubleday, Deacon for Prime Minister.
Suppose we couldn't be any worse. Give it a crack,
82.
son. Never voted in my life. It's like turkeys
140.
voting for Christmas.
Moving on from question time to tungsten time.
140.
Nearly filled it.
And Quantock here has got 6 from 189 to complete. Sorry,
80.
185 to complete the match. Make sure I'm not the Chancellor of the Exchequer.
100. Christopher, required 100.
Well, to get his first points on the board, and you can't say he hasn't been deserving of them the way Chris Quantock has played this evening. Peterson threatened the 1-3-4 in the first leg of his game against Neil Duff. Can he
139.
check the 1-3-9 to save the match here against Chris Quantock? He's not going to, and so Quanny's going to get 2 in hand upon his return to seal a 4-0 win.
87. Christopher, required 48.
To get on the board. Chris Quantock wants tops.
Game
He finds
shot
tops
and the
and he
match.
finds his
Chris
first
Quantock.
points of the night. He beats Devon Peterson by 4 legs to 0. And so Quantock is on the board. Just what his performance is, duly deserve, you feel. Bit of an ironic look there as he leaves the stage. 87.13 the average, 4 from 7 on the finishing. That's been a real strong point for him so far tonight. He beats Peterson by 4 legs to 0. Coming up after the break, we're going to watch Neil Duff in action as he takes on Adam Lipscombe. Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. Before the break, Chris Quanto got his first win on the board, beating Devon Peterson by 4-0, doing so with an 87.13 average, 4 from 7 when it came to the finishing. Well, these two are word perfect so far, but between Neil Duff and Adam Lipscombe, somebody's O's gonna have to go. These two came through Group A. And both players who come into this with a bit of form, they struggled on Monday to obtain results. They actually went into Tuesday Group A in P5 and P6, respectively. They then ended up P2, P3 behind the runaway winner in Scott Taylor. Lipscombe, who quite literally has Portsmouth as his home, and Neil Duff, who's made Portsmouth a second home over the last 18 months.
Yeah, they went Duff on throw, 1-2. And despite
39.
some of Adam's form this evening, there's been no shift. 6-4.
We were making the point
60.
in an advert break before he went live that these two are the two players that came through Group A, and it feels like playing the 3 days has come to a massive strength for them thus far.
140.
I think it has a more profound effect in Group B than it does C, in my opinion.
Yep, agreed.
Because you're already coming in, I think particularly as well if you're the player in third place, because by and large you would have had a good day on a Wednesday to get into that position, so you can ride that crest of a wave a little bit.
180.
Max for Lipscombe.
If Duff follows up with one of his own, he'll leave tops after 12, but he can't do that. And Lipscombe's on a ton plus finish, so we know exactly what's going to happen now. Not take it out. But he's going to do the next best job to leave himself on 7 if Duff can't take the 95.
Well, that's okay. Tops. There's one of them, and look how much room.
75.
Didn't go for the open bed, just tried to follow dart 2.
Game shot on the
And
first
Lipscombe pins the 7 to get the break in the opening leg. 1-0 he leads.
Second leg,
In
it's
terms
Adam
of
to throw
composure,
first. Game on.
this is a real breakthrough week for Adam Lipscombe. I don't want to put the
42.
mockers on him, but if you are planning on coming Saturday night and you've not booked a ticket, I would be quick. Head over to www.dartshop.tv, because if Adam Lipscombe does qualify, which
140.
on this showing I certainly expect him to do, this place will be standing room only.
45.
Yes. And I've had communications that it will be standing room only over the course of the last couple of days.
100.
Put it this way. It will not be a quiet night at the library.
It's a church.
66.
But I get you. Fam.
Cheers, bruv. Knew you'd always do me solid.
60. $140.
Silence speaks volumes, Henry.
I always wondered why silence ends my conversations. Well, Neil Duff looking to end the conversation at leg 2. 116 to square up at 1-1, and he's got 6 from here. In the scoring phases, Neil's been making the moves in this game so far.
51.
It was the missed opportunities in the first leg which opened up the door for Adam Lipscombe to take it against the darts. And Duff looking for the break back.
100. Now he requires 65.
3 more matches to bring you at the completion of this one. Up next, Chris Quanto versus Jazz Barstow. That's tasty. Then Adam will be back for his final match against Devon, and then Quanny will be up against Neil Duff.
Not a bad way to end the night. It's not been a bad night at all.
140. 70.
I always do wonder, though, for players that do pick up 2 wins in their first 2 matches, if the second half of the night
46.
don't go to plan, things can instantly feel as if they're chasing you, can't they?
Yeah. And that's another
26.
side of the game. You have to have that mental fortitude. Chris, what's 2,000 your best chance of winning Lakeside? Well, yeah, 99 and 2,000.
Can I ask you a question I've never asked you before?
125.
This may not end well for you, Henry. Where's that paper bag?
There a better chance of winning that fight. But
130.
in those big TV tournaments, which one do you think, reflecting on it, was maybe the biggest one that got away? The one that you feel in reflection was, that was my real one. That was my one time.
42.
98 World Match Play. Should have beat Baxter. Would have had Harrington in the final. And then
Game shot in the third leg. Nailed up.
semi-final of the Worlds, more so in 2099, I suppose. 2-0 up, 4-2 up.
Fourth leg, it's Adam to throw first.
Year Grand Prix, Lloydie.
95.
Lloydie won it. I think that was there for the taking, but all if buts and maybes. Certainly the World Masters as well. 2-0 up, and a leg up
45.
against Walton. There's a theme, Henry.
Basically, don't take the lead.
100.
Mr. Truth. Well, he thought Ashley Coleman was just a YouTuber. No. I didn't say that at all. I was informed of
85.
that. I'm out of touch. That's why I'm sat here and you're typing on YouTube, Mr. Truth.
140.
Well, Lipscombe again, leaving a 140 from a place like 303, which has left him on a bogey.
97.
Well, it's going to matter in this leg because Duff in the scoring department hasn't quite gone hell for leather like he had done in the previous couple.
134.
He's across, leaves himself on double 16 after 12 to square this game up at 2-2.
$174. Adam, you require 32.
Super visit. Will it all be in vain? Or has it added enough pressure?
Change
No.
on the fourth
Held it all
leg.
together
Adam
for
Lipscombe.
dart 3, finding double 8 for a level game.
Fifth leg, it's Neil to throw first. Game on.
The Godfather, Chris. If Mervyn King loses his card and goes to the seniors, will you reenact your sword fighting promo with him?
135.
Oh, I'd almost forgot that, Jack. Thanks, pal. That's a sleepless night for me this evening.
100.
Jack, it's Mr. Mason or Chris, and I'll answer your question.
I'm just having a look
80.
at the averages in this game. Real good stuff. 95.5 Duff, 92 for Lipscombe. Every game Lipscombe's been involved with this evening has been a very, very good
140.
battle. He's brought the best out of people this evening. And he has been able to get over the line in 2-4-3s.
Real quality affair, isn't it, this?
58.
Both players mid-90s. Real nip and tuck.
81.
What's it those guys on the T-shirt said? That's MODUS, baby. Haven't seen them since.
No, Jack, it's just called manners.
96. 100.
Ton leads
Here we
himself
go,
on a 2-darter, but what can
132.
Duff do with the 1-3-2?
Shots on. Oh, you'd love to have a poke at the ball because there was nothing in the way
104.
apart from a guide.
Adam, you require 80.
For the break, which would mean he'd throw for the match. 2 in hand, a double 10. Double 5. I haven't seen him up on that
70.
target much this week, so just
Now
been
he
his
requires
proficiency on double
28.
10. Duff, double 14.
Game
To
shot on the
lead
fifth leg.
3-2 and
Neil
to
Duff.
evade the Lipscombe attack of his throw.
Yeah, a rare opportunity in this match.
Sixth player gets Adam to throw first. Game on. $100. $50.
Duff field opportunity missed there.
I think Jack needs a nap. A bit like Baggy.
60. $180.
Neil Duff making his move.
38.
Putting his foot to the pedal when it matters most. We saw something similar to this in his game against Chris Quanto, where the game was
57.
tight after 4, and then he made the moves when it mattered late on in the game, and he's doing exactly the same here.
Maybe disappointed
83.
with that second dart. Real opportunity to get himself down to a 170.
Couple of strays into that 5 in this leg for Neil.
81.
Covers with the second dart, leaving himself on a finish. The 1-3-3, which Lipscombe took out. Double 19, double 19, double 19 earlier on this evening.
77. Now we require 133.
For the match. And for a hat-trick of wins on this Thursday night, the 1-3-3 isn't going to go.
Yep, and a win here puts him,
97.
well,
And
pretty
we require
much
140.
1 foot in the final.
Couldn't find a ton topper when he needed it the most, Adam Lipscombe, and so Duff will come back for
87.
double 18
Now we
to
require
complete a
36.
third victory from 3.
Game
Well, he
shot
really
on
is
the
becoming the man in this arena,
Neil
isn't he,
Duff.
Neil Duff? 3 wins from 3, and he is making his typical Thursday charge. A 4-2 win for the Duff man against Adam Lipscombe, doing so with a 94 average, 4 from 6 on the doubles. Tidy numbers against Adam Lipscombe. A tidy game, and coming up after the break should be another tidy clash. Chris Quanto against Chaz Barstow. Well, we may have saved some of the best till last here at the Super Series. Saw a good game before the break. Real good performance from Neil Duff. 94-11 the average. 4th and 6th in the doubles to beat Adam Lipscombe 4-2. He made his mid-match move and then picked up the points to go with it. 6 and 6 for him. And this could be a cracker, Mace, couldn't it? Quanto against Barstow.
Yeah, Duff pushed really hard there as well by Adam, but had all the answers. Yeah, this
First
is
leg, it's Chris to throw first.
potentially
Game
another
on.
super game. Rob asks, I like these sensible questions. Chris, we see Devon struggling of late. What's the key to coming out of a slump in form?
100.
Confidence. It's just got to play through it and wait for it to turn around.
140.
You almost devil's advocate logic, because we say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing 100 times, expecting the same
17.
results. But in terms of getting out of a slumber, you've got to keep going back to the well and hoping that there is going to be a time when that click comes back into place.
96. $180.
Maxi for Quanny. And he is third of the night, and we
133.
associate Chris when he's at the top of his game as a real big power scorer. It's been his finishing
60.
that's been his strong
Judge
suit
record
tonight.
132.
I'll give you a quote which is quite relevant. Those fans of the Rocky franchise
80.
movie, it's
Judge
not
record
how hard
144.
you can get it and keep moving forward. It's how much you can take
40.
and keep
Judge
moving
record
forward.
52.
And that's it. He's just got to take the blows and just keep getting up and pushing forward.
12. Chris, you require 104.
One thing we know about Devon, he is tenacious. He has a genuine love and passion for the sport, which goes a lot deeper than
96.
what we see just
Judge
in terms
require
of
40.
playing, of course.
We're actually going to delve a bit deeper into that on our YouTube channel over the coming days. He's done a chat with Chris
20.
Murphy
Judge
earlier on
require
this evening, which will
8.
be available across our social media in due course. Double 2 here for Quanto to take out the opening leg. Doesn't
4.
go.
Judge require 20.
And from being perfect on his doubles in the first game,
Game shot on the first.
he's just
leg.
having a couple of
Chaz
issues on it
Barstow.
now as Barstow takes out the opening leg against the darts.
Kevin Pryor, I found out who
So
Chris
it's
beat
Chaz
in
to
round
throw
2 at
first.
Lakeside in 2000. Matt Clark, any chance of him being on Modus? No. No, he wouldn't like it here at all.
44.
It's got to be one of the most reliable and
78.
successful players here in terms of consistency and making finals. Matt Clark.
Well, him and Daryl Pilgrim in the same series became the first player to qualify for 3 Champions Weeks.
140.
Remember, he got to the grand final. Lost to Raymond Smith in the last leg decider for
60.
the £20,000 jackpot. It's the only final which has gone the full 7 legs here.
58.
Raymond Smith has not defended his title. He will come back when he comes back as the lineal champ.
Oh, that word,
62.
lineal. I've heard that a few times over the last few years. Chris, what's your opinion on the Influence event in April? I'm sure it's going to be lots of fun. I hope everybody enjoys it. And there'll be a lot of money raised for charity. What's not to like?
58. Judge require
For a 2-0 lead. Barstow's really building up now, isn't he?
Another person, Adam, asking if
42.
I'll be back. I will be back, and I will win another week. Yep, that's the plan. Just go one better
180.
and win Champs Week.
Judge require 40.
Tops of Barstow for 2-0. First one grazes the wire. Now the open bed.
Game shot on the
Just about to
second
say,
leg.
it was great
Chaz
pressure.
Barstow. Third leg, it's
2-0
Chris to
in the
first.
blink
Game
of an eye. The real cats. Is it just me, or does Quanto's left-hand throw look rather odd and uncomfortable? They do left-handed throws because you're seeing it from the other side, of course. If you looked at it as we're seeing this, it would look completely different.
180.
Well, we are looking at Chaz Barstow now, who really is beginning to enter beast mode.
100.
He's not going to enter perfect mode, though, in this leg.
140.
But Quanto's throw again is under severe threat. The double break could well be on, but he's done well himself to leave himself first to a finish.
Chris, you reckon?
Good find with the last. The fish is not going to go this time, and so Barstow
180.
could break an 11 here.
But again, Quanny asking the question.
He's hung with him. And he's going to get his chance.
Chris, you reckon? 52.
It's only a hold, but it keeps him in the contest if he can find tops.
Game shot
Pins it first dart. 14
Chris
darter.
Quanto.
Back to 2-1.
Yeah, it was a must-win leg, wasn't it?
Fourth leg, it's Chaz to throw first.
Keeps his hopes alive of winning another game here this evening and putting himself right in the mix.
43.
Well, to put it in the simplest form, Barstow's gone from throwing for the match in this leg to seeing Quanto just tap him on the shoulder a little bit. Not that it's phasing him one bit.
139.
When you think of what was then called the Live League in Southampton, your mind instantly thinks of Chaz Barstow. It was just synonymous, wasn't he, with that venue?
99.
Yeah, he produced some real incredibly high-level stuff down there.
100.
He's beginning to find that form of 2021. Again now,
60.
the last 6 months have been very good to Chaz, winning another week here. The performances across Challenge Tour and other events have
83.
got sizably better. 160 for a 3-1 lead. Doesn't go, but the way Chris has been playing tonight, the 118 is not off the radar one bit.
60. Chris, 118.
Joe 20 for double 19.
$44. Charge you require 100.
For a 3-1 lead. Tops. There's the first.
80.
But just below with the second.
74.
To square this game up at 2-2. Remember, Barstow had darts in hand for a 3-0 lead. It's only going to be a dart at the bull.
41. Charge you require 20.
And that was way off pitched.
Game
Nothing
shot
wrong about
number
that.
4 play.
Barstow leads
Chaz
3-1.
Barstow.
All three legs being won on
If
that
it's
double
Chris
10
to throw
target.
first.
Bit like that Quanto game earlier on the season against Adam Lipscombe, where all three of those legs were won on double 16.
I like this question. Hi, Chris. If you had 5 people to invite for a meal, who would they be? Quite easy, this one.
93.
Muhammad Ali, Eric Bristow, Alex Higgins, Nick Foldo, and John McEnroe.
60.
John McEnroe, you cannot be serious.
59. 96. 119.
Chris, you did so well in the seniors. My nan could have thrown straighter.
134.
Wow.
Who's your grandmother? Michael Nan Gerwin.
Yeah, get her in, get her playing.
55. Question required 71.
71 for 3-2. And treble 13 for double 16. And he's missed the big number, but it's not going to matter. Barstow 175.
17. 57.
To keep the
Question
contest
required
going.
54.
And a good quality contest as well. 2 darts at tops with Barstow
Game
on
shot
a
on the
ton
fifth
plus
leg.
out. Quanto keeps the
Chris
game going,
Quanto.
but Barstow now throwing for the match.
Yeah, Corny has to be
Sixth leg,
somewhat
it's
perfect
Chaz
from
to throw
here.
First. Game on.
Try and stick Barstow under pressure, but if there's no mistakes, it's going to be tough.
180.
Barstow bestows
81.
the utmost respect for the performances he's putting in this evening. And he could round off this game
66.
with a 4-2 win, maybe not a 9-dart leg. We had a period where 9 darters were raining down like confetti at a Greek wedding. But we haven't seen one yet in Series 7.
Might see one next week.
58.
There's a chance that Leonard Gates could miscount on a 9-darter next week.
46.
He's hit one here.
Indeed he had. He did against Martin Thomas.
140.
Barstow 57 for the match.
123. Judge required 57.
17 for tops.
Game
And Chaz
shot
Barstow
of the
picks up a
match.
4-2
Chaz
victory.
Barstow.
We'll see him in the last game of the night against Neil Duff. As far as Chris Quanto is concerned, his evening work is done. Just the one win, though, from his evening. He'll feel bitterly disappointed. He's put in some good performances, but the results have not yielded. Barstow 4-2. A last game of the night for Adam Lipscombe and Devon Peterson to follow us after this short break. Game 24 of our day here at the Super Series sees Adam Lipscombe and Devon Peterson go toe for toe. Game 23 of our day was a fairly decent affair as well. Chaz Barstow beating Chris Quanto 4-2. Barstow averaging 89.13, couple of maximums in there. 4 from 14 when it came to the doubling. Now, if we're looking at the way that both players have played this evening, you would make Adam Lipscombe a very heavy favourite to go on and pick up the spoils in this one. Devon Peterson will be hoping to end his night on somewhat of a high.
First leg, it's Adam to throw first.
Lipscombe with the darts. If he wins this one, he move on to 6 points and will put himself in a real good position to qualify through to Saturday night's final. An elusive Saturday night final for a man who has come so close on so many occasions to doing so.
Yeah, wasn't he edged out once before on leg difference?
Indeed he was.
45. $100. $95. $60.
Luke plays darts. Chris and Henry, who do you both think is favourite to win week 5? Connor Scott will win a week this year.
59.
If he doesn't, I'll do a forfeit at the end of the year. Quote that one up. I'll do a forfeit if he doesn't win a week this year.
140. Adam, you reckon 142.
142 for Lipscombe to take the lead 1-0. Isn't going to go. So Peterson's going to have a crack at the 121.
82. Devon, you reckon 121.
17 don't go. So Lipscombe's back for 60.
57. Adam, you require 60.
Tops.
It's awkward. But he finds a way through.
First leg. Adam
It was the
Lipscombe.
jam in the middle of the 2 slices of bread, which apparently is sexy.
Second leg, it's Devon to throw first. $140. $100.
Adam Gillian asking, has Dita played at the MODUS? She played at Southampton. She has played here, but it was part of the ADC Women's Tour.
45.
Won the tournament.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, enjoyable event that.
140. $60.
Who did she beat in the final, Henry? I can't remember.
100.
Sam Curtin 4-0.
$140. Out of your record, 161.
Lipscombe 161 for the break and 2-0.
$79. Devon, your record, 116.
Double 18 for 116. And a ton topper
Game
for
shot
Devon
the second
Peterson.
leg.
A
Devon
highlight for the
Peterson.
Devon Reel on night 1 here at the Live Lounge.
Phil gets Adam to throw first. Game on.
He's working. He knows he's got to get that elbow up a little bit, and that's what he was just sort of
100.
gesturing to himself there.
$85. 100. 100. 140.
Tom Forley leads on 161.
Yeah, a familiar scoreline. You see after 9.
Taken out already this week.
28. Enemy record 161.
Yes.
Took it out on Monday, and he went down to go up, and he does exactly that again. The bullseye. It was nearly a rinse and repeater.
Thickness of the wire away.
Enemy record 25.
For 2-1 lead. 1 for double 12.
1.
Doesn't go. Peterson, though, way back.
Yeah, no damage done.
100. Enemy required 24.
So, 2 12s.
2 3s.
From the northwest to the south coast of the boards, and now up to the very top. But he
No
decides to
score.
bust
Enemy
it. Peterson back of 148.
100. Enemy required
Now
24.
more pressure on this. Double 6.
Game shot
2-1 Lipscombe. He is in the lead once more in this game. You're sensing control of this game.
Full flag, it's Devon to throw first. Game on. $85. 45. 100. 59. 125.
Thank you to everybody that is tuning in, whether you're having a midnight Scooby snack or you're watching during the day in the United States. Thank you for your company.
60.
Yeah, Real Cats says, I'm from South Africa. Is it true that Devon Peterson is from South Africa? He is. He's from Mitchell's Plain in Cape Town.
The second South African to play at the Super Series. The other one, Simon Adams, a real popular addition. He was Simon.
100. Evan, you reckon 100.
Oh, he was brilliant, wasn't he? What a breath of fresh air.
Made friends everywhere he went. Real popular character. I hope we get to see him again. I really do.
40.
I don't think there's few people that you can't help but like. You just couldn't help but like Simon. Just
42.
everything about him was just
Evan,
such
you
an
reckon
infectious
101.
character and personality. 16. This would be for a second ton topper in this match.
Game shot
2
of
from
four
2 in that
flag.
particular department.
Devon Peterson.
And there we are at 2-2.
Fifth leg, it's Adam to throw first.
Was that a Brendan Dolan-esque helicopter?
60. 28. 140.
HBT having the night of his life. Just had some beans on toast.
Living the dream.
60.
Wonder if it was cheesy beans.
Oh, now you're talking. I remember having a few of them in my student days,
40.
Mace. I actually made toasty pizza when I was a student.
100.
Basically,
Beans on toast with cheese.
no. No, basically, put toast in the toaster.
140.
So cheese. So put toast in the toaster. Put some tomato puree on it. Put some cheese in there. Put some salami sliced on. Put it in the oven. You got toasty pizza.
180. Adam, you reckon 121.
Okay.
I thought I was very creative at that point.
Devin, you reckon 133.
Yeah, I'm sure Gordon's quaking in his boots. Or Raymond Blanc. Don't tell Nico that story. He'll be disgusted with it.
93. Adam, you require 32.
Double 16 for 3-2. To get himself back in front again.
Game shot on the fifth
It
leg.
does sneak in. He
Adam
had to double
Lipscombe.
check, but Lipscombe is back in front in this back and forth contest.
Yeah,
Sick leg, it's
nearly an
Devon to throw
opportunity for
first.
Devon there. But when it's not going well,
45.
you don't get those second bites at the cherry.
Well, next week we'll be
85.
doing a behind-the-scenes documentary on Ashley Coleman's debut, which is going to focus on his exploits. It's going to be super series like we've never
41.
seen before. So stay tuned for that across our social media channels.
100.
Plenty of content going on that YouTube channel. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe. It's the best way you can view the content here at the Modus Super Series. Get
134.
notifications as well. And you can get in touch with Chris Mason on the chat room.
125.
Not when that's going on, you won't. There's enough whoppers on a
60.
normal night. $71 left. Should be treble 13. Likes double 10. So treble 17 the option.
So Lipscombe to end the night. 3 from 4.
100. Adam, you require 54.
He's yet to make it through to a Saturday night.
$40.
Rob just said
Henry
this is
McGuire,
good.
121.
Henry, I think you put bread in the toaster, not toast. Correct. Not unless you're double toasting.
$81.
Well,
Adam, you
he's
require
left a
40.
double again. May not get a go.
Double 10. Doesn't go.
20.
And Peterson
Devin, you
back
require
for a last
40.
leg decider.
Game shot
It
on the
is
sixth
going
leg.
to be a last leg
Devin
decider.
Peterson.
Lipscombe has spurned opportunities to win this match. And now he's forced to serve it out in the
Seventh
decider.
and final leg, it's Adam to throw first. Game on.
Luke plays darts. I've already got my ticket for next weekend, hoping to see Connell Jarrett lift the trophy. We will see you
45.
there. I'll be there next Saturday, so I look forward to seeing you.
Will you be wearing your new whistle? Will it be getting a run out?
95.
Oh. Well, my plan was possibly this Saturday with yourself and Mr. Nicholson in the chair.
100.
Well, Lipscombe again has gone up on the 306.
81.
So the 140 would have left him on a non-out. Not that it was going to matter with Peterson back where he was.
100.
Manages to force one through just to keep him interested.
48.
Not left to finish. This is getting edgy.
This was exactly what I said earlier on tonight, where a player can win their first two, but if they lose their last two, things get much
60.
more edgier going into the final day's play.
$59.
It's just falling into that trap of
44.
forcing everything.
Adam, you require 118.
Just got to try and let it happen.
Doesn't go. Peterson's already had a couple of ton toppers in this
94.
particular match.
Adam, you require 152.
Can he find a hat-trick to seal his first points here at the Super Series? Not this time, and so Lipscombe will come back for double 12 to seal a 4-3 success.
52. Adam, you require 24.
It's been a week of progress for Adam Lipscombe, and he could well be a step away from progressing through to his first Saturday night final. He gets the better of Devon Peterson 4-3. It's 3 wins on 4, and as you can see from the outtake there, that was very hard work. Relief for Adam Lipscombe. A 4-3 win against Devon Peterson in our penultimate game of the night. Last up for us, Chaz Barstow and Neil Duff after this. Game 25 of 25 here at the Super Series on Thursday, and we could have saved the very best until last as Neil Duff and Chaz Barstow go toe-to-toe. When you think of the MODUS Super Series and you think of players involved in this competition, these are two names and two faces that you very much think of more than many others. For Duff, a win here, and he will complete the card on night one. If Chaz Barstow wins this particular battle, well, you've got real table separation going into
First
day
leg, it's
2.
Chaz to throw first. Game on.
Chaz with the throw. How key a factor could that be?
41.
It's our final game of the night. And just had some news over from our
121.
friends over at the ADC. From the Vault series, the Vault program. And there's been a couple of 9 darters hit. So congratulations in the ADC Midlands to Ryan O'Connor, who completed the feat against Martin Price, and Owen Maiden, who completed that particular feat in a game
96.
against Jamie Barrowman. So congratulations to both of you guys for that particular achievement.
59.
And good luck to everybody taking part in those Vault events.
Yep, they're another fabulous addition to
66.
all the players that play in the amateur side of the sport.
58.
And it continues to grow, doesn't it, and go from strength to strength. And I get why nowadays the landscape has changed for players. They want to, if they're going to invest money in themselves, they want to try and find a reward,
94.
and they're getting one.
Require 97.
Try to put it more on the next leg. Duff 97 for the breaker throw in the opener. It's going to go. And so Barstow back for a ton topper by way of ton 10 to take out this first leg.
77. Charge require 110.
Triple 18 would have left the double. So Duff back for 2 10s to take out
50.
the opening leg.
Now we require 20. Game shot.
Found for 16 dart breaker
Nailed
throw.
it.
Duff on the board. 1-0 with a break.
Yeah, and this is a match
Second leg is
that
Neil to throw first.
they'll both have in the back of their minds that they may well meet on Saturday night. They're both going to fancy qualifying out of this group.
100.
Just to get one over on one of your closest rivals, which they'll both think the same in that department.
100.
Just to have that mental edge.
Just going back to those ADC Vault events, I spent a lot of time with Matthew Edgar
60.
over the last few weeks, and he's been crossing all different far-flung parts of Europe, playing in the WDF system over the last year or so.
96.
And he was basically saying that the system in the UK in terms of Super Leagues and that is kind of outdated when you compare it to the rest of Europe, where they continually play round robins. You're always on the board when you're
41.
playing at tournaments, and that's what the Vault does.
Well, yeah, if you're going to go out and play Super League, you're going to get one game. Not necessarily every week in
180.
all the different counties, but I certainly know that the last time I played Super League, you were lucky if you got a game every 3 weeks, and
125.
you've got to travel,
Judge,
and
125.
it's a lot of investment, and what you ultimately get out of it. Where if you're going to invest the same money and go into a
55.
Vault series, you're getting multiple matches for the same money.
It's all about what the benefits are going to be at the end of the day. Barstow looking to benefit from the break back.
101. Judge requires 70.
109, that'll be the option in Barstow's mind as he leaves 25 following that treble 15. 5 for double 10.
50. Now he requires
Could
74.
well be in a spot of bother here.
One dart at tops.
54.
Doesn't go. It's a reprieve for
Judge
Barstow.
requires
I think he
20.
thought that was in. When it left his hand, he would have felt like that was in the double. Ooh, now the flight's in the way. Look how far left he's having to go.
No
and he's
score.
got around it, and it's not gone in.
Now he requires 20.
Well, this would rub salt in the wound if Duff could have found that first dart. Double 5.
He's been so good this week on double 5. Not this
50.
time, and a bit of added pressure.
Judge requires 20.
This is for 1 apiece. And the break back for Barstow.
Game shot.
This time pins the double 10.
Chaz Barstow.
2 legs played, 2 breaks a throw, 1-1 the score.
Third leg is Chaz to throw first. Game on. $68.
Aaron Evans joining us from Glamorgan in Wales.
100.
Wonderful darting county. They have had some tremendous county teams over the years, and players represent Glamorgan.
96.
Got viewers from Gwent as well.
180.
Another fabulous darting county.
99.
Interesting. Glamorgan play Super League every fortnight, every 2 weeks. Weekly in Gwent.
66.
The Super League where I am is on a Sunday night, bizarrely. I don't think it's every week.
100. Now we record 155.
For the third consecutive break in this game. Triple 19 would have left a subsequent double, and so Barstow is back for 138.
$127. Judge of record 138.
138 isn't going to go, and so Duff will return for double 14. So another break and a 2-1 lead. It'd be the halfway point to a perfect night.
Double 7. 3 breaks a throw it is.
Leg. Neil Duff.
And so Duff up 2-1.
Fourth leg is Neil
Looking
to
to
throw
dust
first.
up the
Game.
entirety of the opposition. He's beaten 3 of the field already. Barstow would complete the set on Thursday.
135. $43. $85. $45. $100. $100.
Well, Duff looking to really assert his control of the match now.
He's just looked so assured tonight, hasn't he?
97.
Just doesn't look like the same player we saw on Monday morning.
It's exactly what you said earlier on in the week. Neil's one of those players that sometimes just needs that little bit of
100.
jeopardy in
Require
proceedings to
84.
bring the best out of him. We're getting the best out of him now. Doesn't have to chase the bullseye with Barstow back on 2-1-3, and so it'd be all about
44.
leaving Old Faithful.
Yeah, and he uses Group A to play himself into form. Bonus if he gets going early. If he doesn't,
59.
he doesn't mind.
Now we require 40.
The double that won him a world title, the double
Game
that saw
shot
him
on
win
the
double
fourth leg.
trouble, and it's a
Neil
double
Duff.
that puts him 2-1 in front.
Fifth leg gets chance to throw first. Game on. $135.
Had a message from Dean Gant. Harry! That's not my name.
140.
Can I have a shout out? I don't like you being left out of all the love for Chris.
Love, wow.
I'm that much love that he knows my name off by heart.
96.
Do you prefer Harry to Henry? What's your take on that? Are we going to see a name change?
No, because let's
60.
be honest, we know what my pronunciations of ours are like, so being called Harry probably doesn't work.
Yeah, not if you get stopped by the police. Name, please. Have you been drinking,
60.
sir?
First and foremost, you're thinking of me getting stopped by the police.
Well, you do have a bit of a flashy motor, don't you?
140.
Well, Duff now on the cusp of the match.
And the perfect start to his
100. Now we require
Group B campaign.
161.
To make it 4 from 4. He hopes Barstow doesn't take the 110 out
99. Judge require 100.
as he lays up for 62. Double 18 to extend this game, and it's another ton plus out on an evening which has been littered with them. A 110 to save the game, but now Duff throws for the match.
Neil to throw first.
Yeah, it's
Game
been
on.
littered with some quality finishing tonight, hasn't it? Lost count of how many ton plus outs we've had. And that's just by Adam.
55.
Oh, thanks, Jord. My favourite commentators.
50.
Was the S a typo?
Sorry, Mace, he's just a massive fan of mine. On the subject of shout-outs, as if I'm Tony Blackburn on Radio 2, Marco Maio is tuning in this evening, of course, referee here at the Super Series.
My pal. Hope you're okay.
139.
I might see him in Munich next weekend.
$82.
That's unlucky.
Wow. You can actually see the
120.
part of the wire that he clattered against. It's left a little indentation in it.
$123.
And so, Duff first to have finished. The 60 spit out means that Barstow can only set up.
134.
What a setup it is.
146.
But this would be some way to finish off what has been a perfect night for Neil Duff. He now hopes Barstow can't take the 58.
58.
Break of throw as well, if he does.
Double 10. Doesn't go.
38. Neil, you require
And this
53.
is for the perfect night. Two darts at tops. Double 10.
33.
And double
Judge
10's been
require
an issue all
20.
week.
Just going to have a little shuffle across and then
Game's
find
on
it.
the sick flag.
It's all square
Just
once
Barstow.
again, and we go all the way in the last game of the night.
7th and final leg. It's Chaz to throw first. Game on. $131.
So the final leg of the day,
100.
we began at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Joe Croft threw the first dart, but who's going to throw the last dart?
80.
Well, advantage Barstow. 111 in front minus these. Well, that's taken care of that.
140.
A leg which will either see Duff in control of the table or three players pretty much as you were.
180.
What a time to fire in a max. Barstow first to finish, but what can Duff do by way of response? Needs to find a treble here.
100.
Leaves himself on a finish,
110.
but Barstow's already taken out the 110. But he didn't take it out this way. He's going to get a dart at tops for another 110 finish to win the match in ton-topping style and to deny Neil Duff the perfect night. And it means it is so tight now at the top of the Group B table. Those the numbers from the last game of the evening. 2 110 checkouts helps Chaz Barstow en route to a 4-3 win. A game that Duff was in front and in charge of. 3-1 to the good. Barstow bags it 4-3. We're going to analyse all the action in the studio on the other side of this short break.
Why, hello again, Chris. What an evening we've had here at the Super Series. 10 games have come and gone, and these are the results from them. An intriguing evening, and we've really enjoyed watching these games together, haven't we, over the course of the last 3 hours?
Yeah, it's been a proper battle, and it's in the balance as we expected. They're just toing and froing those 3 players at the top of the table who, well, are going to lock horns again tomorrow night, and it may well be those 3 that come through, but I think Chris Quanto might have something to say about it tomorrow night. Very unlucky night for him. Nothing really went well for him early on, but bounced back well.
Well, let's sum up this story of the evening then. Let's begin with Neil Duff, because prior to that game against Chaz Barstow, had the perfect evening and was a leg away from completing the cards.
Yeah, missed a couple of darts at doubles to get it done, but Barstow puts you under a different kind of pressure when he's in this mood, and yeah, he just about did enough for the win. He shouldn't have give Neil Duff an option to win the match after missing a couple of darts at double himself, but those 2 110 finishes, outstanding.
Did we see 2 different sides to Chaz Barstow this evening? The fact that we saw some good stuff from him, but when he needed to dig in, he did.
Yeah, listen, the quick throwers have games like that. They will go through peaks and troughs and ups and downs, and ultimately, though, when they get that first start right, we call them first start merchants for a reason. When that first start's on point, he's a tough man to beat.
2 110 checkouts to beat Neil Duff, and he needed to do that.
Yeah, they were outstanding. I mean, that one there to get it back to 3-2, but more importantly, there was that leg 6 where he had to battle hard and dodge a couple of bullets from Neil Duff, but it was a super last leg.
We're speaking about how Neil Duff gets better as the week goes along. In terms of experienced campaigns, only Robert Thornton has played here more times than Neil, and it looks like he's using that experience now every single time he comes here. He knows this like the back of his hand.
Yeah, it took him a while to figure it out, didn't it? It was a case of, why hasn't he won a week? And ironically, he wins a week and then doesn't have to wait too long to win another one in our special double trouble week. And he just knows how to get it right now. He understands his game inside out. He knows where he is in terms of practice, and he openly admits he uses Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to get ready and get up to speed. And once he's up to speed, we saw what he's capable of tonight. It was absolutely rock solid.
In terms of Adam Lipscombe, his ton-plus finishing was completely on point. We're seeing a different side to him this week.
Yeah, he just seems a lot more measured. He's a lot more confident in his ability. We're seeing him take a little step back where prior to tonight, he may have rushed a few key moments like these. You can see it, just a deep breath, refocus, sets himself, finds a target, and that wasn't a one-off tonight. That's something he's been doing all week, and he's just got a different air about him right now.
5 ton-plus finishes of the night. That's up there with anybody.
Yeah, he was quality, wasn't he? And it's good to see. He's a lovely fella. There's a lot of pressure on him from all his friends and family and teammates from the different pubs he plays darts out of, and he just wants to. I think he wants us to qualify as much for them as he does himself. And listen, he's got every chance now. It's down to him. He's just got to be. If he wins 2 out of his 4 games tomorrow night, that'll be more than enough to see him through to Saturday night, and this place will be jumping. I can't wait.
Oh, it most certainly will be jumping. Devon Peterson, debut night for him here at the Super Series. You saw more positive signs as the evening went along. What do you think he'll be thinking when he maybe wakes up tomorrow morning?
Yeah, it was a real struggle for him, and it's nothing what we didn't expect. He's open. He's more than aware of what's going on with his game and where it is. But there was some good moments, a couple of ton-plus outs in this one, and he pushed Adam Lipscombe to the wire, and he's just got to figure it out. There's no easy fix to a lack of confidence. That confidence breeds confidence, and he's just got to get back to winning ways and work it out for himself. But there was plenty to take from that last game tonight, that's for sure.
Plenty of positive signs for Devon Peterson. Right, let's have a look at the table before we leave you for the evening. 3 players tied on 6 points at the top of the table. Neil Duff, Chaz Barstow, Adam Lipscombe cannot be separated. Chris Quanto, you feel, is going to have a major say tomorrow. Devon Peterson will be looking to play his way into form. So that is the way things end up in Group B. Thank you for your company today, Chris.
Pleasure.
It's been good fun, hasn't it?
It has. It always is.
Well, we'll do it again tomorrow, won't we?
Yeah, from 1 o'clock.
Indeed we will. Hopefully you can join us too, because we're going to find out 5 identities of finalists here at the Super Series. Joe Croft and Jimi Hendrix are in command in Group C, whilst in Group B it's a 3-way battle at the top of the table. Night all.